What's cracking, Jump Nation family? It's your boy here, Rushy S, aka the Jump Rope Coach. Welcome back to the home of Jump Rope Fitness and Lifestyle people. Today we have part 2 of the world's best double under crossover tutorial, all right? So if you've seen part 1, you're now on the right video, okay? And if you haven't, go back and check part 1. So we've got a part 2 for you today, guys, and I'm gonna be showing you the power of having a knot in your skipping ropes when you are learning the double under cross, right? I just received this message the other day and it inspired me to kind of include it into today's video, right? The message goes as follows. Hi Rushy, please, for the upteenth time, would you please showcase a DUX footage with no knots on your rope like Floyd does? With all due respect and in light of your great skills, I'm quite sure this is going to be only a formality for you to do just one time. All right, cool. So where this ties in today's video, guys, is I'm going to show you what I'm feeling with and without knots in my skipping rope and why I would advise you to just give it a go, all right? Because this move is all about trying to learn and trying to understand the timing of where your rope is, where the loops are, and when you need to time your sort of movements with your hands, okay? So as always, before we get started with today's video, please hit my links down below, go to my website, let me gear you up with the best skipping ropes on YouTube and the world, of course. Today I'm using the iconic money rope version 1. We've also got version 2 coming up a little bit later in this video. So we're gonna start with my go-to knots, all right? So I have one knot either side of the skipping rope, all right? I have the knots around about 3 inches away from the handles. Now you don't want them coming too long down in the rope and you don't want them too close to the handles either because it's just gonna create a lot of friction and mess up your rope. So about 2 to 3 inches, I've got a knot either side. And what this helps me do when it comes to things like double under crossovers, it makes me and allows me to feel, and I've said this loads of times on loads of videos, it gives me the kind of feedback I need to understand where this rope is. And what it does, it creates this kind of lagging motion with the rope. So when you sort of throw, when I feel like I'm throwing the rope, the knots, they give this sort of stability in the handle where the sling or the kind of slingshot of the rope, it kind of, there's like a delay, all right? It's kind of hard to explain, but when I go to the rope with no knots, I'll kind of share more feelings with it. It's kind of like when you have this knot, there's more firmness around the handle, and you get this as well with using heavy ropes. So when you're doing things like double unders, for example, and you've got this knot, you'll feel this kind of resistance near the handle. And what that allows me to do anyway, is it allows me to time when to flick this rope, when to turn my wrists, when to give it that extra little push when I need to, right? The knots give me this really nice symmetrical arc. And that's the kind of thing I always go for when it comes to doing all my moves, is I'm looking for really nice arcs that allow me to then tie multiple double under crossovers together. Because what happens is if your arcs are a little bit off, it's not symmetrical, one side's more thick, like it kind of starts to push this way or that way, it then becomes impossible to jump through the loops you're creating. So you want really nice tight arcs. So that's why I use the knots. So going to the young gentleman, I presume he's a gentleman, his comment, I'm gonna now, well, I've just pulled off some knots of this rope, so you'll see there's a little kink now. But I've got the version 2 money rope performance, slightly different handles, a little bit more premium grade, embossed logo, and everything else the same. So with this now, hopefully it's the right size as well. Another thing with the knots as well, it allows me to kind of tinker with the size of my rope as well. So I've got this kind of where I kind of need it to be. So I had the handles come up to about the armpits for me. The rope starts at around about my pec level. So now, no knots, straight away, what I can feel is the rope actually a lot more quicker. This is a good advantage of not having any knots, is you get a lot more speed, all right? So if you saw video 1, right, where I taught you a lot about the timing of double under crossovers, if it's speed you require, this is where having no knots may work for you, because you might need speed. It might be that you can't jump as high as I do or get the hang time that I do. And like I talk about with things like double unders and double under crossovers, is you need this hang time to really be able to perform this move slowly. So some people can't do this move slowly. Like they just don't have the hang time ability that I do. And ultimately what they need to do is jump. They can't jump high, so they have to jump a little bit lower off the floor, and they need speed. So if that's you, you then probably can't do with any knots, because the knots will slow, give you this drag, like I said. With no knots, you get more speed with the rope. So I'm gonna give you an example of jumping lower, double under crossovers. Let's try, give it a go. And that's me sort of feeling less hang time, quicker hands. And as you can see also by my technique, when I'm sort of doing it, the rope, the sort of rhythm for me is not optimal, right? I'm just so used to just jumping softly, doing it nice and slow. But when you want to go quick, even with double unders, you can see that without no knots, the rope can travel faster. Actually, with this rope, to be fair, I could trim it down because I can hear a lot of friction with the floor, which is what you don't want. You want really tight little clips. So yeah, they're the kind of feels I'm getting, guys. You can kind of understand where you guys are at with your rope journey, what kind of style of rope you want. This video was really just a part 2 to now get you geared up for optimal, perfect double unders for your style and for your skill set. There will be a part 3 where I'm going to share with you the real secrets of how to get this done continuously. So yeah, give it a try, especially if you've got one of our ropes as well. You've seen me using knots for years, right? And it does work, it does give you those lovely flows, perfect arcs. So yeah, trust me on that. And yeah, hit the website. And yeah, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Drop me a subscribe as well if you're new to the channel. Check the links. Use Rush10 for 10% discount. We've got a wicked sale right now actually online. And let me gear you up, man. Let me gear you up for this year and make your cardio game lit. So until the next one, take care of yourself. Skip the treadmill. Stay safe. Peace.